Alright, so with this big update we've had a very big renewal of the coin shop in general with a lot of stuff, and two new units came out, which are Melascula and GALAND. For a second I forgot his name, for GALAND, and I got myself both of them. Of course, I need to make content. I don't recommend actually buying them for 10 coins each. It's just not worth it. The title of the video is it worth it? It's not. I'll get you right there to the point. Don't buy for 10 coins. If you are gonna buy either of them, buy for 7. So wait for them to be discounted, and even still, no rush. If they take like, I don't know, 3 weeks to be discounted, don't worry about it. They're gonna come eventually, and you buy if you want. And if you really like GALAND, just buy him, you know? If you really like Melascula, dude, Melascula's costume, dude. Oh yeah, Melascula showcase is tomorrow. I haven't awakened her yet, but I got GALAND to 80, I'm also gonna get Melascula to 80. I like doing showcases at 80 because they're more representative of the unit, and of course with max SSR gear. But let's take a look at what he does. Ultimate, same as Blue GALAND, for 3 turns boost base stats by 50% and does 420. For what up does he do? Because he's a coin shop unit, a lot of people are going to be able to actually max him, but he's more expensive, so might take a little longer. He goes up to 630%, which is okay, but given that he boosts himself, of course that adds up with the damage, right? And then his commandment, whenever someone uses a rank up or rank down skill card, they get petrified, aka Gopher pretty much for the most part. But there's also other units that do it, especially rank down. And then his passive is that, let me read this because it's very strange. When strength allies, or red allies, use a skill, ignores 30% of the enemy's defense, excluding counter skills. So, interesting card. This reminds me of mono red teams, and he might be a good option in the back of a mono red team, especially in PvP, right? I think this guy is kind of made for PvP, but there's a thing, right? When people saw his info, because in this game they drop info for characters with their level 3 skills, and we saw the level 3 skill, and in red, remove stances. This right here. Remove stances and buffs from a single enemy, and then inflicts 400%. Now, when people saw this, were like, "Oh, Green Estarossa is dead! Green Estarossa is countered! No one's gonna use Green Estarossa anymore!" Well, I was predicting for this to happen, but level 1 card just does 220 damage, doesn't remove anything. Level 2 card removes buffs, but doesn't remove stances. Level 3 card removes buffs and stances. So you need to use a level 3 card on PvP, which is not like, it's not rare if you're using Gopher. But guess what? Can't use Gopher, so you can. It's just annoying and very unpractical. So GALAND has a weird build. I guess they were trying to counter Estarossa because he's very meta right now in PvP, especially ungeared. But didn't really happen. And then his other card, 180, 270, 450%, ignores resistance, which is of course the damage reduction kind of stat in this game. Pretty good card. Ignoring resistance is really good. So I'm gonna take him in boss stage, and I prep this team. Gopher is a staple for showcases just because ranking up card skills are so good, and it pisses me off that this guy is gonna get petrified every time I want to rank up something. Now, the reason why I brought Hellbrim instead of Gilthunder, usually I bring Gilthunder for showcases, is because Hellbrim boosts attack base, and because GALAND boosts his own attack on his ultimate, I felt like it would be interesting to get his ultimate and then boost with Hellbrim, so he gets the double attack boost, right? That's pretty much why. Ooh, good. I can get his ultimate pretty quick. So let me go right out the bat with the level 2 right here. Boom, and then the level 1. Ignores the resistance. No, the ignores resistance was this one. 58k. 46k. He hits decently hard. What are his base stats? 30% pierce rate, 20% resistance, 10% crit chance. Oof. He has okay stats. I mean, his actual like stats, they're really good actually. but his like other like miscellaneous stats, they're not the best. Especially that crit rate, 10%. Unfortunate cards I just got here. But what can you do? Hopefully Halberd doesn't die. Okay, got a Gallant card, but again, can't get that level 3 just because Gopher, if I use a level 2, right? The plan would be I use a level 2, and then this card also becomes level 2, right? So I get every card in my hand level 3, but because Gallant is gonna petrify Gopher, I can do that. Alright, let me already boost with, nah, because I don't know if I'm gonna get a Gallant card, so let me not. And then, let me do the level 2, because, you know, why not? And then we attack. Let me see how much damage it's gonna be doing. Again, this is the one that removes buffs, because it's level 2. You see, Gopher being petrified right there? 77k, type neutral. It's okay. Here's the issue, right? In this batch of characters, we got what I think is the best summonable unit in the game. I'll make more videos for her and you'll see more and more, but man, Derriere is so freaking stupid. Okay, let me see the level 1 right here on her. Again, just because ranking up cards with Gallant is not the easiest. Boom, 217k. He crit. 81k. Man, that was with a Halberd level 3 and his ult. But it was a level 1 attack card, so I guess it makes sense. But man, after playing with Deldry, showcasing another unit just becomes weird. It's my 3rd time trying to showcase this guy, just because every time I try to record, I'm like, man, did I do a good job? Because Deldry was so good! It's difficult to compare. I feel like this Gallant, just like I said, he's gonna work fine. I don't have a mono red team built up, do I? I hardly believe I do. Yeah, I don't. But he's probably gonna work fine as a unit in the back of the Red Arthur, Red Escunar, Gopher team, because he's gonna be making those 2 units ignore defense, ignore 30% of the defense of the enemies. So he's gonna be good for that, but I don't know about PvE activities. The only other PvE activity I can think of that he can be good is this specific super boss that we are having right now. So that's pretty much it. I'll take him here, just because, again, he might be good for it. So let's take a look. Actually, before I go in, I wanted to talk about comparing him to Blue Gallant, because of course you can't use both Gallants in the same team. Maybe you want to use one of them, and you have to pick and choose. Blue Gallant, if it wasn't for the fact that his second card was so weak, I would say he would be better than this guy, but I do believe this guy is better than Blue Gallant in most scenarios, just because he has 2 pretty decent cards. But here's the thing with Blue Gallant, right? Blue Gallant, after he ults, he becomes a beast, because this card right here, for Blue Gallant, has Amplify, which increases damage by 30% per buff, so he gives himself 3 buffs, so that's 90% on top of the buffs that he's already giving himself, right? So it's a card that really makes sense for Gallant to have in the first place, because, you know, it combos with his ultimate. This guy doesn't have anything like that, so it's kind of a bummer, I guess, that he doesn't have anything synced with his thing. And we can use Gopher when we use them. I guess for Blue Gallant, it was less of a bother because he was blue. So if you wanted to run like a mono blue team, you wouldn't use Gopher, right? But if you want to run a mono red team, you have to run Gopher. But I get, okay, Gallant is probably a unit that you use in the back, because of his passive. It's more or less like, oh, let me actually, you know what? Since I'm feeling a little adventurous, let me get level 3 right here. By the way, this event doesn't have type neutral or doesn't have type disadvantage or advantage, so I can just bring in full reds and I'll be fine. 63k. But this is a hard content activity, so they have high defense, which could be a reason why he would hit a little bit lower. Oh, okay, so here's the reason why I think he's good for this event, is because this Meliodas gives himself a counter. So if I can remove that counter, that could be very good. That's why. that's the whole idea behind it. But again, you need a level 3 card, man. Level 3. They should have made level 2. Level 1. should be remove buff. Ah, but would that be too OP? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Maybe it would. Who cares? Out of the coin shop units, I feel like... I can't say for Melascula, because I haven't used Melascula yet, I don't know, but this Galand and the Melascula seem like the little bit of a weaker in the pack. Okay, so let me see him removing the thing. Goodbye, Gopher. 58k for a level 3 card. It's because his penetration is kind of high. Again, there's no type neutral. No, sorry, there is type neutral. It's only type neutral. There's no type advantage, so he's not hitting low because the enemies are blue. He's hitting low because he's hitting low. Okay. Okay. So let me do this. Rank up again. Ult U and then combine with this card because he's gonna give himself the 50% attack boost, right? So let me see how much he hits after the ult. 82k. Type neutral, of course, is ours. 91k. Level 3. Man. When I took Derriere in this stage. It's hard to talk about other units when Derriere is so goddamn good. Okay. I'm getting very lucky with cards. Let me see him against a level 3 freeze right there. He does have the 50% attack boost. This is a level 3 card. 272k. Again, he did have the attack boost and it was level 3 card, so... he seems like a fine unit, but out of all the coin shop units, maybe he's the worst. I would say Green Bond is definitely better than him. I need to play with him more, and then I'll give a more concrete answer. But for what I feel like right now, doesn't seem like the best. I'm not gonna remove his stance, which is unfortunate. Again, if this card didn't require a level 3 to remove a stance, because they literally gave us a unit that removes stance in level 1. So it's so odd. I really want to kill this guy and start the next turn with... Let me make sure that he's dead, actually. Let me do this and then this. I want to start the next turn with a level 3 freeze and the Galand's ultimate. He was gonna die, but I just wanted to make sure. Really want to do that. Start the next turn with level 3 freeze and just straight up for Galand's ultimate. But yeah, out of all the coin shop units, I feel like he's kind of the weakest. Esteros is a coin shop unit now. And he is like so stupid. Counter Esterosa is, in my books, top 3 best unit in the game. I think it's Gopher, and then you put either green or red Escanor, and then it's Esterosa. Got no rank up. Let me do this, and then. But I'll just go for the level 2 freeze, and then we'll see how it goes. He will attack later after he does his buff, of course. 180k. It wasn't level 3, it was just level 2 freeze, so I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. If I have to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this guy. If he, again, got his remove stuff much easier, I would like him much more. But man, you gotta hustle so much to get his card. You combine these cards, get some ult gauge. You gotta hustle so much to get his remove stance ability, which is kind of like, I don't want to say his main focus. Oh man, I wish I could double rank him up. It's fine. I'm probably gonna die right here. Oh, I can save that card to actually remove Meliodas' stance next turn. But to be fair, I could have removed it with my freeze anyways. I don't need like a level 3 card to remove a stance. I can just freeze because I'm bringing Merlin, but you get what I mean. I don't want to be negative. It's just that, again, after playing with Derriere, dude, it's tough. Bye, Gopher. Been petrified for most of the match and just gets killed, poor guy. It's tough, dude. It's tough playing with another unit afterwards. Let me make sure this guy's dead. Okay, I'm gonna ult you, And Galan, you better kill Meliodas afterwards. You better. You're gonna get a boost. You're gonna get the boost. Remove his thing. I don't know. My girl, Derriere, would have been hitting for 150k per hit. You know, it's level 1, you know? Like, it's so tough, man, comparing after you seeing her. It's so tough. It really is. I think we're gonna end it here because there's not much else to talk about for him. He's okay. Don't buy him for 10 coins. If you just want him for his collection, for your collection, wait for him to be discounted and just buy him. And I'll see Melascula. She seems like I would say it's kind of the same way I feel about Galan, but I'll wait for you to use her first, and then I'll put my opinion on her. But Galan, I'll test him on PvP though. I'll put him in the back of the mono red team and test him out. Probably in like 2 days, depending on if I'm too busy with other stuff. But I'll make sure to do that, because it seems like that's his purpose. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching.